everybody, it's Mrs. Cundy. Today you are going to be reading a new passage. So instead of just giving you the whole passage at once and having you read it by yourself, we're going to break it into sentences and practice them together first before you have to do it on your own. Okay? So this is the first sentence in the story that you're going to read. Can you read it with me? It was a hot, hot day. Those words are pretty easy, but I do notice a comma there. So when you guys read this, I want you to make sure that you're pausing at the comma. You don't read it was a hot, hot day. You read, it was a hot, hot day. Okay, so when you read it, make sure you read it like that. Read it one more time with me. It was a hot, hot day. All right, next sentence, I underlined a couple things I want you to pay close attention to. The A with the E at the end, so we know that this is going to make the long A sound. We have an ED ending, and then we have a hard word down here. We'll talk about that in a minute. All right, let's read this one together. Sarah and Blake, do you notice it says Blake, wanted to set up a stand to sell. I bet some of you can figure out what that is on your own. That's a long word. What I did was I put it on this one also. I broke it into syllables. Sometimes that's a good way to read words that you're not quite sure what it is. So the first one says lemonade. Lemonade. Does that kind of sound like a word you know? If you said lemonade, you're probably right. We don't really say lemonade. We call it lemonade, okay? The reason that we do that is because sometimes in an unaccented syllable, the vowel doesn't make the right sound. That's called a schwa. I don't know if you guys have learned that yet in your school, but sometimes the vowel makes a sound it usually doesn't make, okay? Like right now, it's kind of making the sound, even though it's an O. So that happens sometimes, that's okay. Always just read the syllables the way that you know how to read them. And then when you try to blend it together, sometimes you might need to change it a little bit so it's a word you actually know. Lemonade. Okay, so now we know this one is lemonade. So let's read the whole thing together. We'll start right here. Sarah and Blake wanted to set up a stand to sell lemonade. Good job.